You better watch out. If you step on a crack, you'll break your father's back. I used to hear that as a little child. It's not true. Stepping on a crack in the sidewalk won't break anybody's back. That's what we call an urban legend. And today we're talking about these modern myths. Stay tuned. English Without Fear, where you can learn to speak English naturally through listening to stories. Yes, have you heard that expression, urban myth? A myth is a story that's not true. Urban legend, a legend is like a fairy tale, it's made up. And these stories are stories that people pass on word of mouth to others to warn them, to give them advice about something. You better be careful, because if you aren't, this bad thing might happen. Where do we get that expression, urban legend, urban myth? Apparently, it was first used in the late 1960s, but the idea has been around for a long time. I want to tell you about a few other ones that are pretty common, at least here in America. And after you watch this video, you'll have to let me know about urban legends where you're from, or different ones that you've heard. A lot of urban legends have to do with health. Here's one, and I believed it. Don't throw wedding rice when you come out of a church, or when a couple who has been married, the guests are not to throw rice, wedding rice, because birds will eat it and they might explode. There's no scientific evidence for that. But a lot of people today throw confetti. But that's not really good for the planet either. Oh well. The second one that I want to talk about is, and I believed this too, we only use 10% of our brain. Just think what you could do if you used more of your brain power. Well, there's no scientific evidence for that. In fact, what I read yesterday was that we actually use 100% of our brain. That urban legend has been debunked. That's a cool English word, debunked. Apparently, bunk means nonsense. And if something has been debunked, the nonsense has been removed. Debunked means proven false. It is not true. So what else has been proven false, but people still say? This one, my mom actually told me when I was about 13 years old. Shaving hair makes it grow back thicker. Now, I didn't have a beard. I wanted to start shaving my legs, as most girls do at that age. And she said, "Oh, Maria, if you start shaving your hair now at 13, it's going to just be thicker." She still let me go ahead and shave my legs with that warning. But apparently, that is not true. That has been debunked. It has been proven false. Where do these urban legends come from? I don't know. The next two are very similar. Have you heard of the Loch Ness Monster? Well, this is a lake in Scotland, and apparently people have said, "Oh yes, I have seen this monster, this lake monster, this Loch Ness monster. They even call the monster Nessie. But there's been no proof. Similar to that is Sasquatch or Bigfoot, a hairy, ape-like creature who's bigger than apes and bigger than a man. And apparently people have cited, have seen, have said, yes, I saw Sasquatch, I saw Bigfoot. Again, no proof. That has been debunked, proven false. Here's one that people really like to believe. Have you heard of crop circles? These are perfect circles that you can see from an airplane when you look down on a field. And many people think that an extraterrestrial creature from outer space has made it, has landed. But in my research yesterday for this episode, I found out that there are a lot of people who have done these crop circles on purpose. And there was one who had just retired, like he had stopped doing it, and he was complaining about other crop circle makers not doing them correctly. Isn't that funny? Well, there are a lot more of these urban legends, these modern day myths that people enjoy sharing. I think during the pandemic, at least here in America, there were a lot of urban myths going around, urban legends. So, what's the point? What's the moral, the teaching point of this episode? Just that we should not believe everything we hear. We should look for evidence. Well, that's it for this episode of English Without Fear. I'm Maria. Talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching. For questions or comments, here's my email